Farmamerica is a place and it's a dream, it's a vision to tell the story of agriculture from settlement times to the present and into the future. The distance between the farm and food on the dinner plate seems to be growing, and that gap is growing every year, and it's so important that people recognize there is a connection between the land that they drive over or pass and the food that's on their dinner plate, that we really want to make sure that these kids are asking the right questions in the future.
Agriculture is really important in this country and important to all people. And if we're going to feed people, we need to know about agriculture and how it's developed and how it's carried forward. And so that's the reason for Farmamerica. We have people that make policies for agriculture, and it's tough to make good policies if you don't understand where your food comes from in the first place. And so that's the primary reason why we make sure we have school tours, we have camps, we have festivals, we have events to tell the story of agriculture, past, present, and future.
Farmamerica began in 1978 when the Minnesota State Legislature named this location as the Minnesota Agricultural Interpretive Center. This fell on the heels of the biennial celebration of this country's existence in 1976. And the powers that be said we really ought to have some continuing reminder of our roots and what really were the economic underpinnings of Minnesota's society. So at the Forest History Center at Grand Rapids and the Agricultural Interpretive Center here were the two designated by the state for that continuing purpose as a public-private partnership. This 160 years or so that's represented here really is an important story of Upper Midwest agriculture and rural life. But as we move to the mile-long Time Lane Road, we enter the prairie, and it's more like the settlers, first settlers, would have experienced back in the early to mid 1800s. People really located their farms, their places to live, near water sources. You'll find on our prairie that we do have a water source and wetlands and other things. We also have an area that we call Peddler's Grove, where folks that were native to this area prior to settlement actually came and did their trading and so forth. We have a one-room schoolhouse here and a church that was moved here from near New Ulm. For us, that's about 60 miles. And that congregation supports that church even today. We do have a blacksmith shop and a feed mill. And we, of course, grow corn and soybeans here. The school gives way to our 1930s farmstead, and the Depression era grew out of something that was pretty fabulous in agriculture and rural life in the whole country. But the Depression took the wind out of those sails. And so understanding being out in the country without electricity and having livestock that needed to be milked and fed and this kind of thing, and not being able to turn on the TV set at will, those are kinds of things that a lot of kids, adults too, can hardly fathom.
Good morning, campers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And that's what we have interpreters for, and all volunteers, to tell that story, not just by looking at a building or looking at a place, but living it through the studied experiences of people that are willing to tell that story.
I'm just thrilled to see them here and be so excited about having a chance to ride in a tractor, having their picture taken with a tractor, and learning what agriculture is really all about. They get the idea that it just doesn't come from the grocery store, that there are farmers out on the land that are growing those crops and those animals, and that it's really exciting to see that happen. And it really gives you hope that the future of agriculture is good and people will understand it.